Yeah, are you giving it up? No, you're not. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, the pinball machine.
Whole same thing about
So that.
Somebody's still working. I got you.
Hey Steph, it started? Right. All right, I got 7.
Good evening. I will now call the November 12th, 2025 meeting of the Board of Supervisors to order. This meeting will be conducted pursuant to the bylaws of the Cumberland County, Virginia Board of Supervisors to ensure a fair, orderly, and safe meeting. Excerpts from the bylaws pertaining to the public conduct during the meeting has been posted outside for your review. Ms. Branch, please call the roll.
Mr. Hamlet?
Here.
Mr. Newman?
Here.
Ms. Tyree?
Here.
Mr. Simpson?
Here.
Mr. Saunders?
Here.
May we all stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will one of the board members lead us in our convocation?
Please join us in prayer. Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in a meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer as a group, and nurture the bonds of community. Let our county be a representation of your love, kindness, and gentleness. Help us respond to each and every situation lovingly, because that's what you do, and with your help, our community will model that love as well. Amen.
County Administrator comments?
Madam Chair, members of the board, I actually have several comments for you this evening. The first item I'd like to share with you is recognizing our November 2025 Employee of the Month, and that is Ms. Tammy Brown, our Deputy Treasurer. I don't know of anyone else in the administration building who has a smile on their face 24/7, but Mrs. Brown is always smiling. She's always kind. She works with our residents and our own staff with all kinds of patience and professionalism, and her attitude and willingness to help make every interaction is always a pleasant one, and we wanted to take the opportunity to thank her for brightening our workplace and serving the community with her grace and positivity. So with that, Mrs. Brown is our Employee of the Month for November of 2025. So,
And we can give her a round of applause.
Wanted to give you some updates as it relates to upcoming county meetings and events. Just a reminder from a holiday and transfer station perspective, Wednesday, November 26, 2025, county offices will close. That's a Wednesday at 12:30. All transfer stations will be open throughout the day that day. Thursday, November 27th, for the Thanksgiving holiday, county offices and all transfer stations will be closed. And then Friday, November 28th, 2025, as part of that Thanksgiving holiday, county offices will be closed, but our transfer stations will be open. That is a change from practices in the past. We've done it in an effort to increase customer service, and staff's been very receptive of this as well. That has been posted on our website and has also been sent out via text alert as well, as in an effort to communicate that change with the public. Sunday the 16th, we do have the Cumberland Artisan and Farmers Market at 1 p.m. at the Luther P. Jackson Complex. So if you're in the area and would like to come by, it's a great opportunity to take a look at some of our local vendors and our artisans and farmers and some of the goods that they bring to that market. We do have a planning commission scheduled for this coming Monday at 6:30 in the circuit court courtroom right here, and then an EDA meeting scheduled for 6:30 on Tuesday the 18th in the administration conference room downstairs in the administration building. Some events I wanted to make you aware of. The first one, I'm actually going to go right to left. But the Cumberland Annual Courthouse Tree Lighting Event is slated to take place on Friday, December 5th from 6 to 8 p.m. with the tree lighting taking place at 6:30. This is year number 4, I believe, of the event. We are changing this up a little bit. We're going to have a tree on the actual front of the courthouse stoop. It's about 10 feet tall versus the holly tree that we've been lighting in the past. That tree has proven to be very difficult to maintain. It's quite expensive for the lifts, but we've put our resources in other areas. We're going to be lighting the poles with garland and lights and really making the entire courthouse lawn shine. We're going to have hot cocoa s'mores and a visit from Santa Claus shortly after the tree lighting, and he typically arrives via fire truck. So there will be opportunities for pictures with Santa at that time. The annual Christmas parade is slated to take place on December 14th at 2 p.m. The theme for this year is Home for the Holidays, and if you want more information on the parade and how to participate, or just general information, I would visit Delma's Pantry's website, use that contact number. They are operating and running that parade this year. The last item, and one of our largest events, is the Lights at the Lake drive-through light show, which is done in cooperation with the State Park and the Friends of the Bear Creek Lake State Park. And that will take place on December 5th, 6th, and 7th, 12th, 13th, and 14th from 5 to 8 p.m. So I would say make it a night on Friday the 5th. Come out for our event and enjoy theirs as well. I mean, what a great listing of community events that we have here in Cumberland County to help celebrate the season. And I don't have it on here, but I also encourage everyone here, anybody who may be listening or watching, to remember our local businesses that focus their efforts on Christmas as well, whether it's Spruceberry Farm or our other tree farm here in the county. It's actually, we've listed those on our county newsletter, which is going to go out tomorrow electronically. We do encourage everyone to visit those businesses and participate in their activities, and our volunteer fire departments do a lot of great Christmas activities as well. We just encourage everybody to get out and celebrate the season. Some additional comments just from an information awareness standpoint. The public hearing for the consideration of the Hecate easement request has been postponed. It's not on your agenda for this evening, but it has been postponed to the board's December 9th business meeting. Just an update on that. And then the traffic impact analysis, as has been requested by the county of Valco Investments, has been communicated to VDOT. And once that TIA has been completed and evaluated, we'll be coming back to the board with an update of what that study tells us in next steps. Some economic development news. We're still working on performance agreements between the county, the grantors, whether it's VDAX or the Tobacco Commission and proprietors of the grocery store. We're hoping to wrap that up here in the next few days. Mr. Beasley and I feel like we've been working on this for a while, but we're getting there. We are seeking additional feedback on both the agritourism policy and the strategic economic development plan. Hope to bring that back to the board, if not in December, but in January. We have submitted a grant application for a cold storage facility on behalf of Spruceberry Farm through the VDAC's APHID infrastructure program, and we should hear back in that within the next 30 to 60 days as well. We still are awaiting one of our small area plan grant award announcements that has been impacted by the federal shutdown, but we do hope to hear something on that in the next 30 to 60 days as well. There's a lot of things going on economic development wise. We're moving the ball closer to the goal. It just seems to take some time. So one last thing for you under my comments, and I'm taking a while longer than normal. But as far as our projects go, our Virginia State Police radio tower base was completed yesterday, and we'll be working on scheduling that tower install with the state police once the concrete has settled enough. So with that, I'll be glad to take any questions.
Mr. Stanley, how is the Randolph Tower operating?
The Randolph Tower, the repairs to that tower have been completed. The vendor completed that probably 10, 12 days ago, and it's from what we understand, things have been back to normal as far as the
We're
patients.
still doing testing, we're still conducting.
But it's operational.
I'm actually not ready to work.
So.
Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Hamlet?
Aye.
Mr. Newman?
Aye.
Ms. Tyree?
Aye.
Mr. Simpson?
Aye.
Mr. Saunders?
Next on the agenda, we have public comment. The agenda items only. Only individuals who have signed up for the public comment period will be allowed to speak when called upon by the county. Members of the Board of Supervisors or county officials will not respond directly to questions asked during the public comment period. Instead, answers will be directed through the county administrator at a later date. Please provide contact information on the sign-up sheet to all proper response by the county administrator. We have Ms. Gina Martin.
I thought that was just general comments. Did I sign the wrong one?
Yes, that's the
Wrong
one.
one.
That's okay, you can sign the other one. All right,
Why
Ms.
did
Martin.
everybody stay on time?
Ms. Martin was the only one who signed up for public comments. At this time, we will have state and local departments, agencies, and community service providers report. First, we have Cumberland County Public Schools.
Good evening. I appreciate this time, and I want to start with celebrations for the school system. We recognized some staff members of the month this past week in our bus shop. It's Eddie Moorfield, Lloyd Settle, and Gordon Hurt. They do a fantastic job keeping our buses on the road and our other vehicles. Samantha Hatcher at the elementary school, Joanne Greer at the high school, Ethan Luter at the middle school, and Katrina Foster in our food service department. They have done an outstanding job, and we are always glad to recognize them. Students of the month, Kendrell Johnson at the elementary school, Tamira Higginbotham at the middle school, and Destiny Griffin at the high school. Side note, Tamira and Destiny are both children of former students of mine, so nothing like feeling old. In addition to these recognitions, we had an amazing Veterans Day program yesterday. Our JROTC cadets, along with our English 11 students, put on a fantastic program. It lasted about a half hour. We had 5 or 6 veterans that were local attend, and they all got to come up, introduce themselves, talk about their service, and speak to our students. So it was a real nice program yesterday. We're also looking forward to, Mr. Stanley and I have been in conversation about partnering the county and the school system on some projects to help with research of the history and also maybe marketing for different things in the county. So we're excited about that, and we're creating a class just to assist with that process. Currently in the school system, we have several students participating in Scholastic Bowl. They are on a winning streak right now. I think they've won 4 matches, which may be a record for them. Our esports team is very competitive with other esports teams, not just in the state of Virginia, but around the country. Football concludes this coming Friday night at Alta Vista. Winter sports practices have begun: boys and girls varsity basketball, boys and girls middle school basketball, wrestling, indoor track, and cheerleading. Our volleyball team hosted the first round of regionals this year. They did not get to advance, but they hosted, which was the first time in a long time that they've been in that position. And we had a number of our cross-country team go to the state track meet in Salem and ran a time of slightly over 18 minutes, finished about mid-pack out of about 98 runners. So he did really well. We are currently hosting, and this is an invitation, senior etiquette dinners. So what that is we set up a formal dining experience for our seniors so that they learn how to use a fork properly or which one to use first, but also to carry on professional conversation in case they're ever in that situation for a work meeting or an interview luncheon or anything like that. So please feel free to attend. The next one is tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock in the Duke Cafe, and then we have one on the 20th. That will be in the Duke Cafe, but it will be during the school hours to help students who have transportation issues with the evening events. We have an academic jacket ceremony on the 25th. That'll be at 9 a.m. in the gymnasium. We recognize seniors who by the end of their junior year had a 3.25 GPA or higher. This year we have 31 students who will be receiving their academic jackets. Fall sports banquet will be on the 18th in the cafeteria beginning at 6 p.m. And one of these events that I've been working with Mr. Hamlet on, the Bring a Legislator to School month, is the month of November. And he has helped put me in touch with members of state legislation. And we are inviting you all, the school board, and other members of government, local, state, federal, to attend that. We'll start with the light breakfast at 9 a.m. on the 21st. Our culinary arts students are preparing that, and then we'll have a little walkthrough of our other CTE programs. We'll then go down to the high school and talk with students about the importance of government and how they can participate. We'll do the same thing with the middle school students, and then we'll go down to the elementary school and do a walkthrough as they practice their wax museum presentations. So very excited about the day, and we hope you can attend. I don't have anything else for you. Are there any questions?
I just want to say thank you for everything your staff does.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate you. You'll have a good evening.
Next is VDOT.
All right. Good evening, Brian Walker, VDOT. Here to talk about the last month's activities for the Clipper. You ever work your job? Thank you, better. All right, let's get rolling here. Everyone home? All right, there you go. So here at Mr. Lopper again. Here to talk about the last month's ongoings with the Department of Transportation. Business as usual on the budget update, plan amount versus expenditures. Here it is graphically. We're just about, I guess, a third of the way through the fiscal year, and again, we're on track. As time goes on, those lines should merge, and we get to June of, the end of June, which would be the end of the fiscal year. Well, there's a slide, I usually present the work orders for the month. We had some technical difficulties internally there, so I don't have that for you to share. So we'll roll into the construction update. So there is a project that's going to be starting sometime in the spring or summer. This is a plant mix project. I didn't see any latex or surface treatment projects on there. That there may be out there, but what I did find was there's going to be paving on Route 45 and Plant Road, Route 600 from South Airport towards Buckingham. That's going to be paved as well. So I'll provide more information and more data as I get it in the coming months. And now we're just rolling to the kind of general stuff that I've been on the past month. So Mr. Stamey and I and Sheriff Hodges had met virtually last month. I think it was October 28th. with the intent of that to talk about some options with the placement and location of flashing beacons. So VDOT has determined Cumberland County will definitively get a location with the flashing beacon, subject to some grant funding, but we'll work on that. So the next steps in the process are coordinating with Sheriff Hodges and Mr. Stamey to identify an exact location. Timeline is not 100% known at this point, but in the coming months, I will certainly keep you all updated. So the flashing beacon will be in place, or at least one in the county. So we'll talk on maybe the Plank Road area, Range Tavern area, probably somewhere over there. So more to come on that. Grant funding on them, Mr. Stamey and I had some discussions and communication earlier this month, and he had inquired about potential funding for the Bear Creek Courthouse Trail and parking at Luther B. Jackson. So coordinated internally there with our finance and our money folks, if you will, to see what options there might be for that. So I figure I'd just give you all an update on there. Two citizen inquiries that were raised the past month in the last board meeting. Route 601 Clinton Road, Mr. Newman, he got back to me 2 or 3 weeks ago. So we did evaluate that road, and the concerns had to do with truck traffic and the width of the road. As noted in the email, that road was recently paved. There were only 2 accidents in the past 5 years, if I remember off the top of my head. So where we're at now as a department, we typically would not do any further evaluation, but certainly if at your pleasure, we can proceed with doing that. There's no resolution needed, and you don't have to respond to me now. You can get back to me via email. But if that's something that the county wants to move forward with, we can certainly do that with a formal study. More to that, like I said, as time goes on. Mr. Hamlet, you inquired about Route 45 intersection with Deep Run Road. Again, we evaluated that. There was a study done, I guess it was 2 or 3 years ago, where VDOT actually proceeded to put the 4-way stop in place. As we talked prior, the sight distance, if you're looking right at Deep Run at the intersection, it is obscure. VDOT did do some trimming out there, but at this time, we don't find the need to do anything else unless you see otherwise. There was stop ahead notification signage. It's clear. Visibility is not a problem. And since the installation of the 4-way stop, there have not been any other incidents or accidents. And that goes on 2 or 3 years. So again, you know how to get me if you have any more questions or concerns on that. The Route 60 school zone, school speed cameras. I actually got a submission today, so we're in the final rounds of review of that. I'll be coordinating through the sheriff's office on actually permitting. So from VDOT's perspective, the plan will probably be approved sometime this month, and then the permit will follow for installation. I just got a couple other maintenance-related items that are not up there on the board. Just a quick update on the mowing. VDOT will complete the primaries tomorrow, and then roll into the secondaries for the remainder of the year and the season. Route 60, we're out there, we're cutting back some of the limbs. Snow preparation, VDOT every year does a dry run, basically goes through equipment checks and materials and all that stuff. So that's behind us for Cumberland County and the rest of our residency. Now it's just a wait and see approach, see how the weather goes. And there was litter pickup on Route 1645. So actually I had a little more than typical one this month, but that is all I have. Are there any questions for me at this time?
I'm sorry. Mr. Locker, as far as the Route 601, the request of the formal study, can you give a little bit more? I'd like for the board to provide some feedback since we're all here.
Okay.
At one time as relates to that study and the request that's been made.
Sure. So background on that, Mr. Newman reached out to me, I guess it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, in regard to a citizen's concern about trucks on the road and safety and speed and a lot of other things that go along with citizen concern. The request was to put in center line pavement markings. So the volume of traffic on that road and the width of that road don't warrant pavement markings. So in order for the department to justify pavement marking installation, a formal engineering study would need to be done. So that is the premise of that request. There's the inquiry on the through trucks. There's 4 criteria that VDOT evaluates along with the board to determine whether or not through trucks can be restricted. The first 2 are, let's see, I wrote it down here, I thought I had it in my memory. Let me go back, just to make sure I got my notes right here. Got it down there. Go off memory. So there are 4 criteria is is there an alternate route that's acceptable for the trucks? There's another criteria is that is the existing route that the trucks are using, is that compatible for trucks? And the third criteria is the road residential in nature? And the fourth criteria has to do with, is the road designated as a local or collector? So the road is identified as local and collector, so it meets that criteria. The criteria it doesn't meet, and it has to meet this one, is there a reasonable route, alternate route, that's compatible or similar to the route that's there. So in this case, if Clayton Road were restricted trucks would have to go down 60 and make a right on 45. That's roughly double the distance and double the time. So because of that, from the department's perspective, it doesn't make sense to move forward with the study to restrict the trucks. That's the recommendation of the department. So again, the study point on the center line markings, that's the question to Mr. Newman and the board, if you relate us to proceed with that.
So, and we talked about striping as compared to airport.
Airport road, yeah.
And I have no idea what the volumes on the airport road are. But when you look this road up and you shared the data, which I really appreciate, I think the counts were 426, if I recall. And they were done in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
There's been, I don't want to say a tremendous, but there's been a lot of building in the 45 corridor and west of the 45 corridor. And so several streets through there. So a lot of single family homes going in. I'm not suggesting that it's becoming a cut through road. I think people that live there probably live in both camps, but I've gone through there several times. The only place that I see that there's an area where truck traffic, maybe specifically tractor trailer traffic, could be a concern for drivers is around the Brown Road intersection of Clinton. So there's some height variance there. It probably goes up about 10 feet over, say, a quarter mile, and then it's a kind of a turn to the left and then slightly to the right and back to the left again. So it's a little bit of an S turn in there. I could just see where truck traffic could, for somebody that's, not expecting it, and same thing with the truck coming the other way, that if you don't strike the entire road, maybe just that section through there.
And that has been done in the past as well. So we will look at the curves, we look at curve signage, and we can look at the interim, if you will, pavement markings with the study. And not 100% sure, but I don't see why we want to go back there and do a traffic count too to get more recent data to help support that. So.
But this does require a request from the board.
Well, it's desirable. I mean, again, because of, generally speaking, it's accident data the department uses to really drive the safety concerns. And absent a history of that, it's kind of hard to justify. And the road was just paved, and so the condition of the road is very good. There are some concerns with the curves, and again, we can evaluate the curves along the pavement markings.
So
There.
And we did get counts on Brown Road when we were working together to try to get it on the paving list.
Yes.
Around 24.
Yeah.
Does that ring a bell? When we actually got counts on Brown Road?
Oh, yes. I remember that. Yeah, so we can meet the criteria or verify it meets the criteria for
That's a different topic, but it's the same thing where it didn't have the threshold that it needed, and I counted mailboxes and said, just not not making any sense, and anyway, you agreed to get counts.
Yes.
Maybe it's time for Clinton Road to do that.
Yes.
There has been, again, enough building in that corridor, not necessarily on Clinton Road, but on 45. And it's just a natural place to.
Yeah, it's a
and
short route.
and, yeah, so it is what it is. It's save a minute.
So with that, we'll move forward with the study if that's,
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you all. That's it.
Leave it on, please, thank you.
Next, we have Cumberland Fire and EMS.
Madam Chair, members of the board, thank you for having me out this evening. It's Darren Hurley with Fire and EMS. And as always, I'll start out with the statistics. We're getting closer to comparing our statistics from last year compared to the trend this year. So if you look at, these are all four departments collectively. If you look over the lower right in the blue bar area, you'll see an asterisk with 1,740 total calls. That is a trend from January to current to the end of October. In the lower left of the slide, you'll see our end of year calendar total calls were 1,875 calls last year. So we still have 3 months of data to collect, and we're going to, for calls for service, we're going to far exceed over this year what we had last year. It's just increase of service with the population increase. And that's just another chart I usually show to you that shows January through October of each station and how many calls they're running. And as Mr. Stamey talked about earlier, I snuck over here past Monday behind the sheriff's office and took some pictures of the boring operation for the three-legged tower that's going to go back behind the sheriff's office. This is the public safety radio communications tower. And now they've got cement filled in the holes now, and they have to wait for all that to cure before they can start putting up the tower for our state police radio system. This is a reminder of what we're doing with all of the radio fleet mapping. It's a timeline demonstrated beginning of August of 2025 through March of 2026 of all the different things we're touching and doing and improving on the radio system. That includes the old radio system repairs, which are complete. We're still conducting testing with that radio system as a backup. And then we have all of the items demonstrated here with the radio channels, how we're designing them, and who gets the installations done in their vehicles first, and so on. Just a quick grants update. I have them all listed here. I've put in red the ones that we got approved. So the third one down, the E911 grant, that's improvements to the 911 Center Communications Center. That is the radio system, consoles, the chairs, the whiteboards, there's monitoring equipment, TV panel monitoring systems. All of that equipment has been ordered and is beginning to be installed. So, and I'll show you on the next slide one of the weather station. We have a weather station over there now that you can access and have a QR code to it. It's pretty cool. I'm excited about that. I've been using it a lot. But anybody in the county can access that through a scanning of a QR code. We're still, seeking out grants as we can if we have time. I'm not going to stop with that. Oops. So this is the weather station. It's mounted on the back of the sheriff's office. This is a weather station that's similar to the ones that are mounted at high-level government agencies, NOAA, weather stations, Wakefield weather station. This company has 1,500 of these installed all over the country. A lot of them are on the East Coast, so they don't blow down with the winds. They stand up. This is rated for over 100-mile-an-hour blast of wind. It should keep functioning. We have a 3-year subscription with it. So the QR code there, you can take a picture of that with your phone, and it will take you directly to all the weather data as it's recorded here in the center of the county. As you know, we had a Rescue Squad Assistance Fund grant award, and this is our new ambulance that's being built at the factory. It's about, I don't know, 3/4 of the way on the production line. We'll have a final inspection of it mid-December of 2025, and then it should arrive January, February, somewhere in that time frame here for graphics. And we'll be able to put it in service. Excited about that. This past Saturday, we had a training opportunity at the Rescue Squad. This is an initiative that I've been working on really hard. It's just it's hard to find instructors to do these things for no cost. So we were lucky enough to secure a Miss Amanda Howard. She is a flight nurse and paramedic with a military background that is a staff member of the VCU helicopter service. So their name is Life Evac. They have 4 helicopter services. They are one of them that will come out here if we call for them. If we need numerous helicopters, they're on the list. They're second or third down the list. State police med flights first. But like the buggy accidents, where we've had 2 to 3 helicopters out here, this would be one of them that would come out here due to the distance, how close they are. So Miss Amanda Howard came out and she gave us a trauma lecture, which was about an hour, hour and a half. It was over the top. It was great. It was just one of the best classes I've ever attended. And in the picture are the folks that attended the class. We're going to get more of these classes for fire and EMS. The football games at the high school, we've had a couple volunteer crews take an ambulance out there from Rescue Squad to standby as requested in case somebody was injured, there were a few minor injuries to some players out there, but we had EMS on the scene to mitigate that. So we didn't have an extended time of calling EMS and then taking a while to get there depending on their availability. And lastly, I just wanted to highlight the trunk or treat event that Cartersville Volunteer Fire Department had. I attended that. There was a lot of folks went through there, including the bus. I saw the bus go by one time. I said, I don't know if that's going to be a lot of people. And doggone if they didn't come back. They came back and unloaded all the people. So anyway, it was a good event. It's an opportunity to speak to people about all the things: fire safety, EMS safety, the services that fire and EMS offers in the county, and plus we gave out a lot of candy too, which is very expensive. Some more pictures of the event and some volunteers that participated. We had volunteers from the Rescue Squad as well. Double D's attended, which was nice. And that's all I had. Any questions about anything?
Just a comment. I'd like to thank Camp Parsons for supplying candy, actually for the elementary school too.
Yep.
And I know I took the card, I think it was, the box weighed 15 pounds, and that's the second box that had gone up there. So anyway, very nice of them to do that, and anyway, I think they're a good local benefit to this county. So
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you.
Next, we have Peter Francisco Soil and Water Conservation District.
Good evening. I am Cody Smith. I'm a conservation technician with Peter Francisco. We do not have a presentation this year. Time got away from us, and we weren't able to update it in time, but I wouldn't likely be looking at the sheet the whole time, so I also apologize about that, but we have a lot to update you on. The Peter Francisco Soil and Water Conservation District requested time with you tonight to update you on our activities over the past year. We want you to know that we are here as a resource for you as board members, county staff, and community members. And we will welcome you to call on any of us, directors or staff, at any time. The district is governed by an elected board of directors with 2 elected from each county, 1 appointed and several associate directors. Our elected directors representing Buckingham are Kevin Dunn, Tom McRae Jones, Barbara Teagle is an appointed director. We have associate directors from partner agencies such as Virginia Cooperative Extension and 4-H. Our elected directors representing Cumberland are Todd Smith, who is our chairman, and Terry Seal, who is our vice chair. Amber Taylor is our Director Representative from Virginia Cooperative Extension, and she is also out of the Cumberland office. Associate Directors are Verdi Mae Jamerson. She is walking around and passing out our annual report. She is a Cumberland producer, and we have Linda Ames, who is also a Cumberland 4-H agent. We have 5 staff, including myself. I'm the conservation technician. We have Charlotte Drake, who is our education coordinator. Jesse Hudgens as our equipment manager. Although we lost Sherry Ragland this year due to retirement, she gave us a long 25 years. We hired a new person, Brandy Maxey, who is sitting down. She won't stand up. She's an operations manager for admin duties. And then Kelly Jones Snoddy, who is also back there but won't stand either. She is our district manager and senior conservation specialist. We offer programs that provide cost-share assistance to install conservation practices geared towards the improvement of water quality. Our programs are broken into 2 areas, agricultural and residential, with the distinction being conservation practices for agricultural operations versus practices for homeowner needs. Our agricultural practices fall under the Virginia Agricultural Cost Share Program, also known as VACS, with funding provided by the Virginia Department of Conservation and Recreation. There are a total of 45 active agricultural projects going on between last year's update and today. They are currently under contract and construction either in Buckingham or Cumberland. From the agricultural programs, the total amount of funding approved for last year's projects so far this fiscal year, plus attached to the projects from carried over from last fiscal year, is approximately $1.4 million. Applications are taken continuously, and we encourage landowners to produce and reach out to us at any time to discuss potential projects. Our residential cost share program administers septic financial assistance to homeowners in both Buckingham and Cumberland County. We previously offered 2 grants. One is federally funded through a TMDL project and the Slate River watershed, only located in Buckingham County. Outside of that, we have our own fund that we call the local grant, which covers the remaining portions of Buckingham and all of Cumberland. Those programs reimburse you up to 50%. But as of October 29th, we received a new grant. This grant, I lost my place. But in October, the district received a new grant that is only for the homeowners of Cumberland County. One of the requirements for the grant is that the home must reside within Cumberland County lines. This grant offers a 100% reimbursement rate for all pump-outs, repairs, or replacements up to a certain amount set by our guidelines. As a note, this is a reimbursement program, and reimbursement can take up to 45 days depending on board approval, and the amount of time that it takes for us to get necessary forms back. The grant is only available until June 30th of 2028 or until funds are depleted. The district so far has approved cost share funding in the amount of $64,100 in Cumberland County, and that's as of October 29th, so 2 weeks ago. If you would like more information about the program, please visit our website or contact our office to speak with either me or Charlie. The district continues to review plans for services for the erosion settlement control program to the county. In the 2025 year, Kelly reviewed 4 plans and consults with Stephanie regularly, and there are 2 plans currently in the works. In addition to conservation planning and cost share assistance, we offer educational programming for youth and adults. Upon school and/or teachers' request, we provide conservation education programs to complement SOL requirements. We often partner with other agencies for these programs, such as our local state parks, Holiday Lake Forest Center, Department of Game and Inland Fisheries, Virginia Commonwealth Extension, BC, 4-H, Department of Forestry, FSA, and NRCS. Charlotte Drake, our education coordinator, welcomes teachers to give her a call to plan a classroom session, a field day, or after-school program. Lesson plans and activities for each program we offer are available on our website, peterfrancisco.swcd.org. We do have some educational outreach highlights. The 2025 State Conservation Teacher of the Year was awarded to Matthew Gold, the third grade teacher of Cumberland County. He was recognized at the school board meeting last week, and he will be recognized at the Virginia Soil and Water Conservation State meeting in Williamsburg next month. For adults, we will be holding our annual information dinner update with partnering agencies tomorrow night at the Dorm. And we are fully booked. We offer annual scholarships to students at Buckingham and Cumberland. Applicants must be a full-time student who is currently enrolled in or who has applied to a college freshman level or undergraduate level curriculum. The district begins advertising for scholarships in January of each year. Applicants are due back to the district in March. If you know of anyone planning to or already majoring in natural resources, environmental studies, please send them our way. We had 3 recipients for the 2025 scholarship. Jordan Dwyer of Buckingham, who is attending Sweetbriar College, Rebecca Sanderson of Cumberland, who is attending Virginia Tech, and Joanna Stevens of Cumberland, who is attending the University of Lynchburg. We also offer scholarships for students who attend Youth Conservation Camp and Camp Woods and Wildlife, formerly known as Forestry Camp. Our Camp Woods and Wildlife campers were Brian Haldane, Colin Snoddy, and Luke Gillum, all from Buckingham. We sadly had no campers attend Youth Conservation this camp, but I attended as a counselor. All counselors for Youth Conservation Camp are soil and water employees or forestry or any other partner agency. The district supports local high school students to participate in the Envirothon competition, which is a natural resource competition where high school students are tested on the topics of soil, forestry, aquatics, wildlife, and current specific environmental issues. And they also prepare an oral presentation in which they solve their real-life environmental problems. The only requirements for a team are a minimum of 5 high school students and 1 adult advisor/chaperone. Both Buckingham and Cumberland High Schools have teams for the 2025-2026 competition year. The Cumberland High School team is coached by Josh Fleener, who is the FFA advisor, and Ms. Linda Eames, who is the Cumberland 4-H. The district coordinates with schools and art teachers to allow students the opportunity to enter a conservation poster contest put on by the association. This year's theme was Home is Where the Habitat Is, and our poster contest timeframe is now moved from the fall to the spring. Lastly, our watershed dams. Under the Public Law 566, Watershed Project and Flood Prevention Program, over 150 watershed dams have been built across the state of Virginia. And with financial and technical assistance from the USDA Natural Resources Conservation Services, also known as the NRCS, the Peter Francisco Soil and Water Conservation District is the local sponsor of 17 NRCS watershed projects that provide flood prevention for both Buckingham and Cumberland counties. Our primary responsibility is to operate and maintain the watershed flood control dams in accordance with state dam safety regulations. We coordinate both with Buckingham and Cumberland County Emergency Services personnel for any emergency action planning and/or implementation. In regards to those dams, we have mown twice, spring and fall. We have began and completed our annual inspections of the dams per our state requirements. We have received funding for satellite remote monitoring devices that have been installed on 4 dams, but we are waiting the remainders to be installed. That sums up our activities as far this year. We thank you for allowing this time on your agenda tonight. The district appreciates the working relationship that we have and continue to have with the county. If you have any questions, we'll be glad to answer them, and you are welcome to call the office or come by and see us at any time.
Any questions?
Thank you. Thanks, Gary.
Next, we have the finance report.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. The first item I have for you this evening is your monthly budget report that is found on page 1 of your board packet. That's for the month of October. It's for your information. If anyone has any questions, I'll be glad to take those now or at a later time. We do have a few appropriation requests for you this evening. The first one starts on page 11 of your board packet, and this comes from Cumberland County Public Schools. The schools has requested the board to appropriate grant funds awarded to them in the amount of $119,937 The appropriation does consist of two separate awards. One is the 2024 School Security Equipment Grant in the amount of $5,437. The second is the School-Based Mental Health Grant in the amount of $114,500. It is my recommendation that the board approves the appropriation request in the amount of $119,937 to Cumberland County Public Schools for purposes as outlined in each of the grants. This appropriation does not require any additional local funding.
Motion to approve the 119,937 from Cumberland County Public Schools.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Hamlet?
Aye.
Mr. Newman?
Aye.
Ms. Tyree?
Aye.
Mr. Stimson?
Aye.
Mr. Saunders?
The second appropriation is able to start on page 16 of your board packet. This is an appropriation request for a Plan RBA grant that was received. Plan RBA is a regional planning commission for the Richmond area. The commission focuses on the environment, emergency management, community development, and transportation within Richmond and the surrounding areas. As part of its initiative, Plan RBA provides funding to localities to assist with emergency preparedness. In September, Darren Hurley, with the assistance of the Department of Social Services, worked with Plan RBA to purchase CPR equipment for our Emergency Services Department. The commission did acquire CPR training for county employees assisting in the emergency shelter, and this was in the amount of $3,000. And in addition to providing the CPR equipment, they also reimbursed the county for the CPR instructor course that was previously paid for from the Emergency Services Department budget. The cost of the instructor's course was $362.25. It is my recommendation that the board does approve the appropriation in the amount of $362.25 to reimburse the Emergency Services Department budget for the amount remitted by the grant.
Do we have a motion to approve the appropriation requested as presented?
Second.
Mr. Hamlet?
Aye.
Mr. Newman?
Aye.
Ms. Tyree?
Aye.
Mr. Stimson?
Aye.
Mr. Saunders?
The final appropriation request is on page 18 of your board packet. This is an appropriation request for a utility and infrastructure project. In May, county staff submitted a proposal to the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation for funding to upgrade the infrastructure to the county's utility system in the amount of $400,423. This project would enable the Public Works Department to install new automatic generators at 5 of the county's pump stations. In July, the county was awarded the funding for the project as proposed. In October, the county received $201,662 of the total award from the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation for the purchase of the generators. The cost to the county for the infrastructure upgrade is approximately $2,500. The project is expected to be completed in March of next year. It is my recommendation that the board does approve the appropriation to the Capital Improvements Project Fund in the amount of $201,662.
Do we have a motion to approve the appropriation requested as presented?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Hamlet?
Aye.
Mr. Newman?
Aye.
Ms. Tyree?
Aye.
Mr. Stimson?
Aye.
Mr. Saunders?
Thank you.
Next, we have planning and zoning.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. Stephanie Johnson, Planning Director, Zoning Administrator. This evening I have for you a department update, and that can be found on pages 57 through 61 of your board packet. For the month of October 2025, it has been quite busy in the office here. Going over first the pending zoning requests or rezonings and CUPs. That has not changed since last month. We do have CUP 2501 Kenny's Place. We're still waiting on an updated site plan from the applicant. CUP 2502, the Seventh-day Adventist Church. I'm still waiting on more information from the applicant. He has recently reached out to me, so we are still in communication. CUP 2503, a Verizon tower on the property of Wayne Lipscomb. The Planning Commission Planning Commission will actually hold their public hearing this coming Monday, the 17th. CUP 2504 for Camp Parsons, we are actively working with the applicant to have a completed site plan. They are working with VDOT as of today to discuss what their requirements will be for that additional acreage for that project. Rezoning 2402, Cumberland Industrial Park. Again, no further action has taken place for that, no further action for that application. And as Mr. Stamey mentioned earlier, rezoning 2501 for Valco Investments, we will be awaiting the information from the requested TIA from VDOT in order to move forward with that application. Zoning permits issued in the department, residential primary, there were 11. Residential accessory, there were 10, and there were 4 farm structure permits issued. Approved subdivisions, there were 8 of those, and we now have 53 pending. Of those that are pending, on the second page, sorry, I don't have the correct page numbers here, sub 2462, it's JCM 3, it says to be determined Goshen Road, that was a major subdivision of 8 lots. That did go to the Planning Commission and that was approved. So that is, we're finalizing the preliminary plat and getting ready to move forward with the final plat. So that will be coming to fruition soon. Going down a little bit further, sub 2537, Timber Creek Building and Design. It says to be determined Trents Mill Road. This was a lot line adjustment for 11 lots. That was the original plan. They have come to realize that not all of those will perk for a conventional system. So they're switching gears and now they're going to do a lot line adjustment and create 2 parcels instead of the 11. A little bit farther down from that, sub 2547, McDaniel to be determined Holman Mill Road. That is a minor subdivision that will create 5 new lots, and that will be on a new private road that will be established, and that's going to be, again, off of Holman Mill Road. Are there any questions about the pending subdivision so far? Okay. Moving on to plat surveys and site plans, there were 5 approved in October, and we have 33 pending. Nothing major going on there. And then on the very last page, under other regulatory functions, I did still have Henrico County on here, the Cox Creek project. However, I did finish my last ENS inspection there. So that project is done. I have some time left for the day. So that has been completed. The 2 solar sites are still in progress. And you'll also see the Schaefer Landis Farm on Old Buckingham Road. There's a poultry litter shed that is being built there. And I do have 3 other pending erosion sediment control permits that are in different stages of approval. One is for a large poultry barn, which is for property owner is Swery. And I can't remember what road that is off of, but I know it is in the western, I think northwestern portion of the county, near Buckingham County line. The Timber Creek Building and Design Cedar Hollow subdivision, that is the major subdivision up here off of 60 before you get to the old pharmacy and doctor's office sites there. And then White Level Estates, which is off of Cartersville Road, almost to the 4-way stop. There were, I want to say, 18 lots subdivision that had been previously approved back in the early 2000s, but the development had never progressed. So that major subdivision up there had already been approved, but now they're in the process of starting the construction of that subdivision. So the half of it, I think it's the north half of Route 45 is what they're getting ready to start. So they're going to be, right now, just installing the road. So that is the ENS permit that we're getting ready to approve for that. Any questions so far? We did issue 7 residential ENS permits. And then, of course, lastly, we have a potential code amendments that hopefully we'll be able to get to here soon. and I'll take any questions that you have.
No questions, thank you.
Thank you.
County Attorney's report.
Madam Chairman, I have nothing to report this month.
Mr. Stamey, can you please provide us an overview of our consent agenda?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, there's two items for your consideration under the consent agenda this evening. The first is the approval of bills. The second is the approval of your minutes from your October board meeting from October 14th, 2025. That can be found on pages 62 to 70 of your board packet. I'd be glad to take any questions.
Any questions and concerns? All right, members of the board, do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Hamlet?
Aye.
Mr. Newman?
Aye.
Ms. Tyree?
Aye.
Mr. Stimson?
Aye.
Mr. Saunders?
Mr. Stamey, new business?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, it's two items, but one of the items includes two motions for your consideration. The first is related to the Route 60 sewer line project. It's a project that we've been discussing for a couple of years at least, since I've been here as part of our capital improvement plan. To give you some background on this, the county staff did issue an invitation for bid that was IFB number 0806-2025 on August 6, 2025 for the Route 60 sewer line project. The IFB itself included project specifications that was put together by our on-call engineering firm, TRC. And those plans were designed to address a defect in the sewer line that runs along Route 60 in the courthouse area, right there, pretty much in between the tire shop and the Shell station. The IFB process itself included a mandatory pre-bid meeting, as well as all requirements related to relevant experience bonding and responsiveness by the bidder. County staff is recommending that we move forward with Brock Construction in the amount of $258,700 plus a 15% not to exceed amount. Now, the work does include the replacement of approximately 100 feet of an existing 8-inch PVC sanitary sewer line. Also includes all the associated erosion control, pavement overlay, and restoration of the area once they wrap up the project. The project will include the need for traffic control and appropriate safety precautions, which will be provided by the contractor. These items have been reviewed and signed off on by VDOT. And again, the contract includes, but is not limited to, all the contractor's obligations, 75-day completion time frame for performance, contract price of $258,700 with a not to exceed amount of 15%, which is $297,505. Now I'm going to just go through and give you an overview. If you look up on the screen there, you can see this is the approximate location. We're right there in that loop there at Foster Road. If you look to the right of the map, that's the area that's going to be impacted right there in front of the not the gas station, but in between the gas station and towards the front of the tire shop. Again, this did require project coordination between the county, VDOT, TRC, and the property owners. As part of the design and permitting process, they've been a part of this process since we started our work with TRC. Very much aware of the project and have been kept in the loop. Just to give you an idea of our water and sewer system and where this is located, if you look on the map, this is for the folks in the audience as well, the star represents the location of the project. If you look towards the eastern portion of the project, that sewer and water line extends all the way to just past Trent's Mill Road, up to 13. And then you can see all of the downstream impacts that could occur, and I use that term lovingly, downstream impacts that could occur if the sewer line is not repaired. And just to give you an idea of what we are dealing with, staff identified an issue with the sewer line to where the pipe itself is compromised in some way. Without digging it up completely, we wouldn't know what that is, but we do know that it's been compromised because we've had that line cambered. We had this project identified in our CIP, and with the board's direction, we monitored it, and we began to notice that we were seeing a larger and larger collection of water as we snaked that line and we cambered that line. In other words, Whereas before, you're always going to have a little bit of sediment in that pipe, but recently that has increased to actual standing water. So we wanted to address this issue before it became a true emergency and then it costs you 2 to 3 times more. And it's really inconvenient for folks at that point. So again, just to give you some background, I've touched on all of these, but just to give you some background, what you see up there now is the bid tab. We did receive 4 bids, 2 of which were incomplete. Code does require bids to be responsive and responsible. We did require a mandatory pre-bid meeting. Questions and addendums were addressed as required by code. We did require detailed reference checks for similar projects, which we conducted. Again, Brock Construction was selected as the lowest responsive and responsible bidder. The contract that we have for your consideration this evening has been approved in form by the county attorney. $258,700 with a not to exceed amount of 15%. Contract does require a bond. And with that, I'll be glad to take any questions, but we do need to take this in 2 motions. One is to address the contract, the authorizations to execute the contract, and the second is to appropriate the funding. So with that, I'll be glad to take any questions.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I don't have any questions. I just want to make the board aware, to make the public aware that being a small business owner myself, my paths have crossed with the contractor that's been selected. And I've been working on building a personal business relationship with that contractor. So in a small community like ours, sometimes those relationships can easily overlap with county matters. While I strongly support awarding contracts to local businesses, supporting local businesses, whenever possible, I also want to avoid any actual or perceived conflict of interest. So out of an abundance of caution and to maintain full transparency, I will be abstaining from this vote.
Yes.
Mr. Stamey, is this project going to require a reduction to 1 lane around 60?
It will at times, yes, sir. So we will have a flagging crew that will have to stop traffic and allow certain folks to pass, just like you would a regular flagging crew with the slow and the stop signs.
So this project's been on the radar for quite a while, actually. I think since we started the board in 23. Are there any concerns about period or time during the year to start this project?
There is in the fact that if we don't do it now, we've got to wait till the spring because the asphalt plant's closed. So the time.
This start would be almost virtually immediate, say within 30 days?
Yes, we will be starting as soon as possible.
Okay. That's what I mean.
Any other questions, concerns? Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the contract agreement related to Route 60 sewer line as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Hamlet,
Abstain.
Mr. Newman,
Aye.
Ms. Tyree,
Aye.
Mr. Stimpson,
Aye.
Mr. Saunders.
Now, Madam Chair, the second is for the appropriation itself.
Yes. So at this time, do we have a motion to approve the appropriation related to the Route 60 sewer line as presented?
So.
Madam Chairman, if I may, I think it could be best for the minutes if it could be clarified that the appropriation would be $258,700, but not to exceed up to $297,505.
Okay. So do we have a motion to approve it as presented?
Second.
Mr. Hamlet,
Abstain.
Mr. Newman,
Aye.
Ms. Tyree,
Aye.
Mr. Stimpson,
Aye.
Mr. Saunders.
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, I have an additional item for you. It's related to our upcoming holiday closures. I did mention that some of our closures of the county offices in November, but also our transfer stations being open on those days. December is no different than November in that we have a lot of different holidays. And this year, we typically follow the Commonwealth of Virginia's calendar as it relates to holidays and closures. And I'd like to make a request of the board to consider extending the holiday on Christmas Eve from a half day to a full day for county staff. And recognize all their hard work throughout the year. So with that, I'll be glad to take any questions.
Let's clarify, from a half day off to a full day off.
That's
not
correct.
working.
Not from a full to a half. Is that what it was? Is that what, did I say full day or half
No, you
day?
just stated as if it was taking the day off.
I got you. Okay.
Off versus work.
So we want to make it a full work day, is what you're saying?
No. No, we want to treat people the way we want to be treated. Do we have a motion to approve the holiday closure requested as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Hamlet?
Aye.
Mr. Newman?
Aye.
Ms. Tyree?
Aye.
Mr. Simpson?
Aye.
Mr. Saunders?
No public hearings at this time. Additional information is only. Next, we will have public comment. Only individuals who have signed up for the public comment period will be allowed to speak when called upon by the chair. Members of the Board of Supervisors, county officials will not respond directly to questions asked during the public comment period. Instead, answers will be directed through the county administrator at a later date. Please provide contact information on the sign-up sheet to all proper response by the county administrator. And first signed up is April Moms? I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, comments were wrong. Oh, Morris.
Hello. Back again. We did have an amazing time at the trunk or treat. And thank you to Camp Parsons for candy. We have already decided that it will happen again next Halloween, for sure. The amount of people that came out blew us away. We had no idea there would be that much response. Again, this coming Saturday, we are having the Veterans Breakfast at 8:30. We welcome any veterans in the community to come have breakfast. After the breakfast, from 11 until 2, we are having our first game day. We're opening the firehouse up for people to come play games. We're gonna have hamburgers, hot dogs, snacks, drinks for purchase, but to come and play is free of charge. This is just to get the community coming out of their homes, even though it's cold. They can come into the warm firehouse, play games, socialize, meet some of us firefighters. I don't know if any of the EMS are gonna be there, but meet first responders, ask questions, see the trucks, whatever. Just to get some more community involvement. We do finally have our CPR class set up. That's going to be towards the end of November, so there will be some more of us certified to help with some of those needs in Cartersville. We have on December the 6th, we're having Santa breakfast. Breakfast is from 8 to 10. And then from 8 to 3, we have vendors, and at least one food truck will be there. Then we're gonna have all kinds of activities for the kids. Some of them are free, no charge for. Some of them will be a charge, but most of them are free. We'll have ornaments for them to decorate, color sheets, different kinds of ornaments. There's also gonna be a hot chocolate bar, face painting, and sugar cookie decorating. That was the other thing. But we welcome any of you to come, and this is for all of Cumberland. You don't have to live in Cartersville to come to our events. We welcome everyone. We encourage you all to come. Thank you.
Next, we'll have Ms. Betty Myers.
Hi, I'm Betty Myers. Excuse me, I live at 577 Deep Run Road. I have a couple of comments tonight. You revised the website for the county, which is good. However, you put the agenda and minutes, you have to go an extra step or two to get to it now. And I find that very inconvenient. Because if I want to go to a meeting of the Board of Supervisors and I want to see what the agenda is, I'm very much used to seeing that on the front page. Now I have to go hit government, go down to agendas, and then get to it. So I find that a bit inconvenient. Another thing is, this evening I heard this long discussion about Clinton Road and trucks. However, whenever we were looking at CUP 24-01, I didn't hear near that much discussion about Deep Run and landfill construction and trash trucks. So I find that very disappointing, because if you look at the two roads, Deep Run Road and Clinton Road, they pretty much run parallel to each other, and there's a lot of curves on Deep Run Road, the same way there is on Clinton. The other thing is, the Virginia Department of Environmental Quality Enforcement Action has hit a couple of your solar sites that's supposed to be so fantastic for bringing in money to our county. They've been enforcement actions totaling $438,453 have been issued against the Cumberland solar projects. I don't believe you are aware of this. Apparently they did inspections, DEQ did inspections at these sites. It lists that at least 4 different ones occurred at each one of these sites, and people didn't take the correct actions, and so now they're coming out with enforcement actions. I think this reiterates why I keep saying, whenever you're dealing with these large projects in this county, be it a landfill, a solar farm, whatever, you need to do some financial analysis of the businesses. We don't want to be stuck in a position like Shoesmith is, like our neighbors to the east are right now with Shoesmith declaring bankruptcy. Who's going to pay for that? Taxpayers. That's all I have to say this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ron Tavernier.
Evening, Ron Tavernier, 51 Ruby Lane, Cumberland, Virginia. I'd like to first off support Peter Francisco in the fact that they came up with a program that now benefits Cumberland more than ever. When I was on the board, I objected to them requesting additional funds from us because there was no data on what they had done for Cumberland in recent years. Now they have done a lot more for Cumberland County. This new program where you get 100% reimbursement on septic repairs, I am benefiting from it. Okay. I also have set up a friend of mine with pump outs and repairs of his switch station for his system. It needs to be more disseminated to the county that these things are available and are beneficial to the individuals to take better advantage of what they have to offer. In the past, we haven't taken full advantage of what we could have. So when they come up with their budget requests, I support giving them a little bit more. The only problem I have with Peter Francisco is they are responsible for so many flood control dams in the area, but not Flippin Ponds Dam. Flippin Ponds Dam is converted over by the owners to an agricultural water retainment. So nobody inspects that dam. That is upstream on Muddy Creek from the landfill. If that dam fails like it did over 20 years ago and was rebuilt without permits, without inspections, we could have a serious problem in the landfill area. Okay? Flooding and floodplains is an important thing that's not being given enough attention. On the subject of Clinton Road, I'd like to thank Mr. Newman for taking an interest in the road. I started pushing that road problem 4 years ago. I agree Brown Road intersection is a bad intersection. I've been run off the road there. I've seen many close calls there. And there's one place on that road that people are not paying attention to. That is the S-turns where Clinton Road joins onto 60. I was forced to stop on 60 to allow a tractor trailer that was blocking off that whole turn section of road and left me hanging out of 60 mile an hour traffic. There is no turn lanes for Clinton Road. There's no wide enough section for a trailer truck to come through that corners, and it really messed with traffic. The traffic information study, traffic impact study that was done on Clinton Road was done during the off-season. Clinton Road is used as a shortcut by contractor vehicles hauling millings and paving from jobs on 45 in the Cartersville area. Now, I understand, the comment I got when I brought it up before was, well, Davenport Road and every other road needs trailer trucks. It's not just the trailer trucks. It's 45 to 55 dump trucks, multiple wheels, 18-wheel dump trucks, hauling 24, 26 tons on a 2-lane road with some blind corners and some restricted vision, residential areas. Thank you.
And then we have Ms. Jean.
Can I speak on 2 platforms, because I'm doing the animal control, and then I'd like to speak on life concerns. Can I do that? Do you mind? I just wanted to speak on behalf of the animal shelter. Okay, I'm the first one. For October, they had 100 calls of service. They took in 18 strays, 0 surrenders, 1 seized, 0 transfers in, 12 transferred out, 1 euthanized, probably due to health reasons, 1 adopted, and 11 returned to the owner. So they're doing the best they can, but they are still hurting. They have gotten approval for a new officer, and they are interviewing. They are very excited about that. So that's a new one. Let's see. Received a donation for a washer dryer / combo. That means it's all in one unit. We're going to try it, and they're going to see how well it does, and they're getting it hooked up. They are very excited about being able to wash things. Patty and volunteer Barbara Kenny attended the rescue roundup at the Richmond Animal League. Cumberland County and 12 other local shelters brought dogs from the shelters to be adopted. I do not have figures as to what got adopted there. Linda Evans brought 10 of the local homeschool children and their mothers to tour the shelter and meet the dogs. Each family then picked a dog and then took them for a walk. It was very enjoyable by all. Our volunteer dog walkers have really turned out with the beautiful weather. We now have an app on our Facebook page so they can schedule a time to walk. We'd also like to thank the Threads Uniform Agency for donating 300 t-shirts. I think I left it, hold on. 300 blank t-shirts, and we have gotten them printed up. This is going to be for Christmas. This will only be given out if we receive a donation. These aren't being sold. These are given out in case we get a donation. So this is our Christmas ones. We're going to have some made up with just the Cumberland Animal Shelter logo on it for now. So if anyone wants to donate, we'll give you a t-shirt. So they donated that for a cash donation. We're going to have them ready for the Lights on the Lake booth. ACO number 2 was recertified at the Virginia Animal Control Conference. The board approved a new ACO position. Interviews, as I said, are starting today. Spruceberry wants to have the opportunity to have photos taken with the animals, and then the donations received from that will go to the animal shelter. How's that? Okay. Now on my personal note, I got 36 seconds. Thank you. Route 601. Clinton Road, but I use it daily. This is a bad road. It really is. They're using a lot of logging trucks. There isn't no logging going on in Brown Road or Clinton Road right now. So they're coming off of 45. They're going down at excessive speeds. A suggestion is the way I read the law, rural roads are 55 unless otherwise posted. It took me 4 years to get that dangerous curve put up since I moved here at Brown Road to get signage there. calling VDOT all the time. Is there any way to put, like you said, the no-through trucks? I really think this road needs to have a count of how much traffic is using it, because it's greatly increased. For safety reasons, the speeds. I don't see many tractor trailers using it as much as I do the logging trucks and the dump trucks. Traffic count is what I'd like to have done. And that's all I have to say about that. Thank you.
Comments by the board members? Comments by the board members?
I just want to say thank you to everybody. I wasn't even leaning in. Thank you to everyone who, for showing up tonight and taking part of this, your board meeting. So thank you, and drive safe, stay warm.
I too want to thank everyone for coming on this historic day. What's historic about today? Today is the last day that they're going to mint the penny. Mint the penny. This is the last day they're going to mint the penny. The penny will no longer be mint again. This is something I started in banking, and it's the only thing I could never achieve in my life. And I actually had a little campaign why do we, I don't know if you know this, pennies cost, just to make the penny cost 2 cents. By the time they distribute and everything else, it's slightly under 4 cents is what it costs. And so anyway, this is the last day for the penny. Now,
It's also the day that the clock tower was struck in Hill Valley.
So anyway, it'll still be around. You can still use it as tinder, but they're not going to make any more. I think there's like 300 billion of them in circulation, and I don't know if you notice, the pennies have a nice smooth edge, so they'll stay in circulation for 30 years.
Does that mean they're going to start rounding up to the nearest nickel?
Businesses will have a tendency to round up, round down.
At what point do you think that will happen? Because there's still going to be circulation, right?
Well, again, they'll still be in circulation. There'll still be plenty of them around. They estimate 300 billion of them out there. So, but anyway, last thing, thank you for coming.
I would like to say the same thing. Thank you very much, and I hope each and every one of you have a safe and happy Thanksgiving.
Where's your animal shelter?
Madam Chair, can I amend my comment? No, because it's something that I wanted to say and I failed to do so, but it was, of course, mentioned. Of course, we're here tonight because yesterday was a holiday. And I just want to say thank you to all the men and women who have donned the uniform of our United States Armed Forces. Thank you for your service. And I mean, you protect freedom, you've protected freedom in your life, and you've lived by example, and I just want to say that your community is thankful.
I am not going to prolong the meeting. I want to say thank everyone for coming out tonight and braving sitting here in the cold with us tonight. So on that note, the meeting, can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Hamlet?
Aye.
Mr. Newman?
Aye.
Ms. Tyree?
Aye.
Mr. Stinson?
Aye.
Mr. Saunders?
Good night. Jesus Christ.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Lord. Now,